The Game Boy Advance was released by Nintendo in 2001 and proved to be extremely popular with gamers all over. An estimated 81 million units were sold worldwide during its lifespan, and its commercial success was largely due to its improved graphics, compact size, and wide variety of awesome games that spanned numerous genres. Among these games were Advance Wars, which was released in 2001, and Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising, which came out 2 years later in 2003. The first game sold over 700,000 units worldwide, and the second a very respectable 650,000. Both titles received critical acclaim for their challenging yet accessible turn-based gameplay, memorable characters, and high levels of replayability, among other reasons. Now in April 2023, gamers will once again get to enjoy the thrill and classic gameplay of both Advance Wars games with the release of Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. But maybe it's been a while since you played Advance Wars and need a refresher, or maybe you're a total newbie who knows nothing about the games. Well, lucky for you, we've put together 5 important things you need to know before you decide to buy and start playing Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Here we go. Number 1. Overhauled graphics and visuals. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is a remastered version of both Advance Wars and its sequel, Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. Naturally, one of the standout features of this reboot is the overhauled graphics, which have been given a completely fresh new look while still retaining the familiar charm and aesthetics of the original games. The character sprites, animations, and battle effects have all been modernized to look crisp and clean on the Nintendo Switch, greatly enhancing the overall visual experience for gamers. In our opinion, the 2D characters and cartoonish 3D models go well together and make gameplay more fun and engaging for players. On top of this, the UI has also been updated to make controlling units and executing commands much more intuitive and enjoyable for players. These quality of life updates ensure that modern audiences will be well pleased with Reboot Camp and should also go down well with OGs who played the original games. Number 2. Strategic depth and dynamic gameplay. Reboot Camp offers up surprisingly deep and engaging strategic gameplay despite its rather innocent appearance. You'll take command of various kinds of military units and take part in turn-based battles on grid-based maps. It's basically up to you to strategically maneuver your units, take key positions, and use your wits and cunning to defeat your enemies. Naturally, each unit comes with its own set of unique strengths and weaknesses, so you'll need to plan your moves carefully, considering terrain, unit types, and enemy positions in the process. Reboot Camp includes a bunch of different maps with varying objectives and terrain types, offering a wide range of strategic challenges for players to overcome. Also, with a range of different land, air, and naval units, there'll be plenty of different approaches you can use to prevail over your opponents. Reboot Camp is easy to play, but gets pretty challenging at the best of times, so stay sharp, soldier! Number 3. Awesome campaigns and fun, memorable characters. The Advance Wars series is known for its intriguing story and memorable characters, and since Reboot Camp is basically a reimagining of the original games, it's obviously no exception. There are 2 different single-player campaigns for gamers to enjoy, the first of which sees you take command of the armies of the Orange Star Nation in a campaign against the Blue Moon, and later other armies, and the second featuring the various nations of Cosmoland coming together to face off against a mysterious and threatening new force known as the Black Hole. As for characters, each army comes with its own set of commanding officers, or COs, with each having their own tactical strengths and weaknesses. For example, while Max from Orange Star is great with direct combat, he's not very strong over distances. Meanwhile, Eagle from Green Earth has amazing air units but very weak naval units. There are many different COs to choose from, and each of them have their own distinct personality and style. Hopefully 1 or 2 of these 2D characters mostly match your preferred playstyle and will lend themselves towards your approach to conflict. Number 4. Various multiplayer modes. Over and above the single-player campaigns, Reboot Camp offers several multiplayer modes for players to enjoy. The first of these is Versus mode, which allows up to 4 players to battle it out across a range of different maps, and with various play options to spice things up, you'll be able to customize Versus games and discover the game types you like the most. Then there's Online mode, which allows you to connect to the internet and take on another player online in a 1v1 battle. So if you're looking for an opportunity to prove your strategic mettle, this is pretty much it. So for those of you who aren't too excited by taking on a CPU or simply just want to have some fun with other people, Reboot Camp definitely provides you with everything you need to have a good time. And finally, number 5, all new features. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp isn't just a straight port of the originals. It also has a couple of fresh new features that should extend your playtime and let you have more fun with your friends and other players online. The first of these is the War Room, which is where you can take on a CPU opponent and try your hand at getting to the top of the leaderboard. There's nothing wrong with some well-earned bragging rights, so if you want to flex on others in the community, getting a top ranking ought to do the trick. Next up is the Design Room, which is essentially a map editor where you can create and customize your own maps that you can then try out yourself or even share with your friends online. This feature is particularly cool since players can basically create their own scenarios and challenge players to overcome the obstacles each map includes. Who knows, maybe you could even build a lucrative career just creating custom maps for Reboot Camp. Finally, Battle Maps mode is now known as Hachi's Shop, where you can purchase new maps, COs, artwork, music, and possibly other bonus material. FYI, Hachi is a former Orange Star CO who will become playable in Versus mode after you manage to clear the hard campaign. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp seems like a well-executed remaster with numerous quality of life updates and nifty new features that should please the vast majority of gamers. Overall, Reboot Camp is a nice dose of nostalgia for original fans and something fun and fresh for newcomers to enjoy. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp will be out on April 20th, 2023 and available on Nintendo Switch. And there you have it. That more or less covers all the most important info you need before you start playing Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. So are you excited to play the game when it releases? And are you a newbie or an OG who jammed the original games? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so I can keep delivering hot gaming, VR and tech content to you on a daily basis. If you have any requests for games or tech you'd like covered, be sure to leave them in the comments as well. That's it for today. From me and the CEOs here at Metasquad, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Later!